America, I'm doing something new here. This is a new segment, and I'm calling this Myth Buster. Okay, now this time I'm focusing on the NBA. I may focus on the NFL later. You know what I'm talking about? Outside of my sports show, I might bust some myths over there. Because I hate to see lies just floating out there unchecked, untouched, allowed to spread and fester and taint the whole narrative that's out there. Okay. So make sure you tune in, America.
Okay. Please make sure you tune in.
Because I'm going to help you out. Okay. I'm going to help you win the barbershop. I'm going to help you win the group text. But you got to tune in for it to happen. Okay. I am your homeboy first. This is my brother Tim G. Jacob, and this is the realest, most entertaining sports show in the game. Put it on something. Okay. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, share this with all your people. Become one of the realest ones and join the channel and hit that Cashapp. You feel me? But as y'all can see right here, I'm coming out the gate. This is how real this show is. Everybody know I'm a Michael Jordan fan. Everybody know I consider Michael Jordan to be the GOAT. But I'm coming out the gate busting a myth related to Mike. Okay? That's where I'm going to start. My brother is shaking his head. Okay? But when I'm done, my brother will agree. Watch this, America. Watch this. All right. Old school NBA players did not hate each other more than today's players. Okay? I know you see today's players exchanging the jerseys. They doing the jersey swap. And you see them online saying stuff to each other. And you see all that. Okay? You see that.
Mm-hmm.
And back in the gap, after the game was over, the boys used to go in opposite ends. They might throw a hand up. Okay, cool. But these motherfuckers were quite friendly off the court. Okay? If we really paid attention to it. And I'm going to start with Michael Jeffrey Jordan, the ultimate competitor. The guy, when you say who's a competitor, they put up two guys. It'd be Mike, it'd be Kobe. But Mike, I think even more so. Mike was just insane.
Mike was maniacal.
Y'all saw it in the last dance. This man back here betting on goddamn coin tosses with his security. Just insane stuff. Betting on golf. Getting in trouble betting on shit too. The man was a maniac.
He was.
But he was also a friendly guy. Okay? Patrick Ewing was on the New York Knickerbockers. Okay? The Knicks and the Bulls had a heated rivalry.
Okay.
But Mike and Patrick cool. They were cool when they played. They cool to this day. It wasn't no thing. Wasn't no thing. Okay? Charles Barkley. Now, y'all remember Charles Barkley being with the Phoenix Suns and playing Mike in the 1993 finals.
Right.
But Charles Barkley came in the league in the East with the 76ers, which means that him and Mike had to see each other quite often.
They did.
They even saw each other in the playoffs.
They did.
And Mike and Chuck were best of friends. They didn't fall out until in retirement when Chuck criticized Mike as an owner or GM. That's when they fell out. So when they were going against each other in the East and the Bulls were kicking the Sixers out of the playoffs, they weren't beefing. If you go watch the games, you'll see them out there laughing with each other during the game. Myth. Magic Johnson and Mike. Okay? Right before Mike really just took the league in his hand. You can argue it was Magic's league. There wasn't no animosity between them. Magic will tell you, after Mike won the championship in 1991, he said Mike came and hugged his neck and was crying. Well, no beef. It seemed like Magic wasn't beefing, wasn't tripping, you know. You're just like, hey, it's yours now. All right. Mike and Larry Bird. Mike and Larry Bird, they never really had no smoke like that. It was respect. Larry Bird called this man God disguised as Michael Jordan. Larry Bird didn't say, man, fuck y'all talking about. We just won that game. He didn't say that. He didn't say, man, fuck that dude. He just scored a lot of points. No, he said that's God disguised as Michael Jordan. Where was the animosity? Where no animosity?
Larry Bird. Hey, hold up, wait. Let me add to that because you're talking about 86, 86, 87 when he went for 63.
Mm-hmm.
Then they say the game before, then he go golfing with DJ.
Not DJ. That's what I'm going to next.
Okay.
It was Danny Ainge.
Danny Ainge. That's right.
Mike hit 40-something in the first game, like either 45, 49, something like that in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
After that game, him and Danny Ainge go out and play golf together during the playoffs.
He said, tell DJ I got something for him.
During the playoffs, this man is out playing golf with the ops.
He did.
Okay?
He did do that.
And then he told Danny Ainge, tell DJ I got something for him.
DJ
and then he went and dropped the 63 the next game. But this man playing golf with the ops during the playoffs. Joe Dumars from the hated Detroit Pistons. This is who guarding him the whole time. Okay? Yeah, Lem Beer and all them boys would try to put him on the ground, but this who was putting that hand on his hip all the time and putting that hand in his stomach all the time. They had mutual respect. So much so that when the Pistons walked off the court, Joe Dumars made sure he shook their hand. He shook their hand.
Mm-hmm.
Joe said him and Mike at the All-Star game had their wives up in the hotel room. They just, chilling together. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the hatred? Where's the animosity? Dennis Rodman sat up there and gave Michael Jordan some of the most heinous fouls ever. He showed enough gave Pippen some of the most heinous fouls ever.
Mm-hmm.
And what he ended up doing?
Winning 3 with him.
Joining the Chicago Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
Scottie Pippen said he fit with us like a hand in glove. Okay? You saw in the Last Dance, Michael Jordan he needed Dennis. He respected Dennis. He said Dennis one of the smartest players I ever played with. Where's the animosity? Charles Oakley. Now, Charles Oakley played with Mike on the Bulls, got traded to the Knicks, but it ain't like him going to the Knicks. Made him start hating the homie. To this day, Chuck Oakley will fuck you up behind Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Okay?
That's different, though. That's a little different.
That one's a little different. But goddamn, I gave you goddamn eight names. I ain't gave you about 8 names before I get to that.
Okay, so for full disclosure, where did this Mythbuster come from? Like, why? What do we see that we really?
That's a constant refrain amongst people when they're complaining about today. They say back in the day, them boys hate each other. I hear these players, these old school guys, some of them that I name, when they on podcasts, they'll say, back in my day, we can do all that. Y'all are fucking lying. They are lying.
Call them out. No, call them out.
I ain't done.
Okay.
Mike was seemingly friendlier with the opponents than he was his teammates. This shit with him and Scotty ain't nothing new. If you read the Jordan rules, you know that Jordan rules was written after the 1991 championship. You knew back then them boys didn't like each other. That Ho Grant didn't like, Mike didn't like Scotty, didn't like Ho Grant, thought they were soft. But these other folks on the other teams he respected. He kicked it with them. He didn't really kick it with his fucking teammates. Okay? I can go get off Mike. Let's go to Irvin Magic Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Isaiah Thomas were literally kissing. They were kissing on the court. Fuck a jersey swap. They were kissing on the cheek. They said, well, like the Italians do. That's how they show love. And in their family, they say, if I see my brother, I give him a kiss. So where's the animosity? Wilt and Bill Russell did not hate each other. They had different political beliefs, but these boys did not hate each other. They mamas cooked for the other one.
Mm-hmm.
They got along. Okay? Now, Wilt and Kareem didn't like each other. But at first they did. That was a friendship that went south. You know what I'm talking about? I think it was a little envy, a little jealousy, a little Little Wilt feeling like, this man trying to come for my crown type of thing. But, Wilt and Russell, the rivalry think of, them boys, they liked each other. You can pull them up right now on YouTube, on the interview, laughing and grinning. Isaiah Thomas and Mark Aguirre. Mark Aguirre was a walking bucket, 25 plus, maybe even 30 for the Dallas Mavericks, okay?
Okay.
Isaiah Thomas had Adrian Dantley on his team with him. Him and Adrian Dantley were button heads. Isaiah used his power to get Adrian Dantley ass shipped out and bring in his partner Mark Aguirre from the Dallas Mavericks, and they went on to win 2 championships. Where's the animosity, America?
Business decision. That's a business decision.
Karl Malone, after he got his ass whooped in 1998, this is supposed to be his ship. This is supposed to be his.
In their mind.
Mike's supposed to be on his last leg. Pip ain't got no back. His back is broken. Okay? Dennis Rodman motherfucking ass up here with Hollywood Hogan running around. This is supposed to be John and Karl Malone's championship.
Nope.
And Mike said, not on my watch.
Nope.
Karl didn't say, fuck that motherfucker and go off and ride on his motorcycle into the sunset. He went on the Bulls bus. Gave Mike a hug and congratulated him. Where is the animosity? You know what? It's just like these two sports, America. Boxing and football. In boxing and football, these motherfuckers are actually killing each other. Yeah. They're giving each other concussions. They're breaking your opponent's bones and liver shots and kidney shots and all this kind of shit.
Yeah.
Boxers hug each other profusely.
They do.
They praise each other after a bout. One of them, I might be hanging out. They're bleeding and bloody, and they love on each other. Football, first thing they do, win, lose, or draw. They come in every now and then. You see a motherfucker like Tom Brady get mad, he'll run off. Okay, but the custom is everybody dapping it up and they swapping jerseys. So America, okay, and I know some of my young boys gonna use this against me, but that's why I'm the realist now. I can't cap for the previous eras. You hear all these boys from the 60s, 70s, the 60s players say they criticize the 70s players. 70s criticize the 80s. The 80s criticize the 90s, so forth and so on. And everybody swear their era was the most rugged and we didn't do all the friendship and all that kind of shit. I'm here to say your ass is lying. Now, let's find out if I have swayed my brother, America. I don't know. He was shaking his head a few times. Sometimes I thought I had him with me. Sometimes I know he was.
Well, here's the thing. Like for me, I didn't really know of it in that era to be this hate and discontent type thing. I just took it as things were very competitive between the lines. So Bulls, Pistons, that was between the lines.
Would you say in the playoffs today, they can't say ain't getting it, they ain't competing in the playoffs? I ain't talking about the regular season. The regular season is another story.
Yeah, in the playoffs. Yeah, of course. I mean, it's competitive.
Like Memphis Warriors got after it last year.
Okay.
Boston Warriors, they got after it. That was good. Try to think of some other series. Boston Nets, physical by today's standards.
Or you could say, would you? I guess Bucks Boston maybe.
Dallas Suns.
That was not competition, obviously.
But it was some good little shit talk. You know what I'm about? It was good.
Well, it's just the fact these boys just get so much money now.
Oh, they getting
way too comfortable.
They getting
I think when the prize, sometimes I feel like the championship does not hold the type of value that it should hold, in my opinion. The NBA title should be like the thing that everybody wants to fight for.
But I would argue what I'm saying is T, I think you've always had some in the league, many in the league, who just cared about the check.
Oh,
Think about
absolutely.
What Mike said he came into with the Bulls, the traveling cocaine circus.
Yeah.
Them boys were trash, but they were treating that nose and they were fucking them hoes.
Right.
So I think you had that shit in every era.
You do. You do. I guess what I'm getting at is that the old school era, I think they just prided themselves more on winning, in my opinion.
But what's the evidence of that? That they pride themselves on winning more than these boys.
It's just the fact that, to me, you saw more passion to me about behind games. Like teams really, if you got me this game, I'm coming back the next game with some heat. I'm coming back with my best game plan. And I'm raising my level of play. Like, take Phoenix, for instance, against Dallas. That was terrible. That was terrible. That was an elimination game, right?
That was abysmal. That was abysmal. But can I offer you Steph's performance after Draymond? I don't know what the Draymond issue was, but Draymond did something. And them Boston fans were ready to get his ass. And they were lighting it to his ass. And Steph went into Boston and he started talking shit to the fans instead and going off.
Oh, absolutely. That's great.
That was marvelous.
That was great. That's a rare moment in time now. It seems like Trey did it in New York. Great.
Oh, that boy,
Great.
that was a menace
Great.
up there.
But this is what I'm saying. This is why I spoke on the LeBron James bro hug league.
Right.
Like, we got to stop all the hugging. I need hate and discontent.
With
I
T.
need
Do you think that they hugging in the NFL after playoffs games?
everybody hug. Everybody need everybody. We
But
need
that's
more
what I'm
hugging in the
saying.
world. I get it. I just never really thought of the old school thing and the hate between. I just never seen it as that. I always saw it as more competition, more just competitiveness. Like when Reggie was giving the Bulls all they could ask for, and the Pacers Knicks, Pacers Bulls, those things, those games, those series, there was just full-fledged. You got me. Like when Reggie pushed Mike, because that was a push. It was a foul. He pushed Mike out the way and made the three. And Mike came back and said what he said. Talking he ain't never lied to his wife. We gonna win game 7. Was it game 7? And
That was a lie right there, because
it was competition.
obviously he was lying to Juanita about something.
I don't know about all that.
He was lying to Juanita about something.
I don't know about all that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It was more competitive to me. It just was more competitive. Even regular season games, even games where, when you saw that team, you elevated. Like Warriors Celtics the other night was very good. It was very good because there's stakes there. We seen y'all in June. We got some issues here. I just don't think of it as hate though. Like the eras back when, I just never saw it as hate. I just saw it as competition.
These boys trying to act like they were more competitive than today's guys. And what I'm saying is, this is my thing. When I'm watching a game from the 80s or 90s, and let's say the game is being called by somebody from the 60s and 70s, they were calling the 80s and 90s boys soft. I'm listening to Bill Russell call the game. I'm listening to Tommy Heinsohn call the game. And I'm hearing them some of the very criticisms that the 80s and 90s boys levy against the 2000 boys. That's what the 60s, 70 boys saying about them.
It has to do with the ching. It has to do with the money. When these boys getting paid, what they getting paid out here now to go perform versus what?
But them 90s boys pissed off with what these boys make. Like Chuck.
Absolutely, yeah.
Chuck, like he mad at his mama for having him back then.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's a factor. I think that's a factor. When you telling me you sitting on the pine and making, okay, Mike made what? 3, 4. What he make?
I
What he
think
start
Mike.
making? He
I
started making
think
20 like his last
I
few
think for
years.
his
Right?
career, he made somewhere in the $90 million range for his career. 90, somewhere between 90 and $98 million, somewhere up in there. That's for
Before
his
he even,
that's for his whole career.
but his last few years, he hit like
For his last
the
2 years in Chicago, he made 30 and 33 million. When he went
okay,
to Washington, he just took like something very low
okay.
number, like $1 million or 2 million, something like that.
And look how long it took Mike to get to 30. And these boy getting extensions at 30. I
But
mean, they getting
now,
$30 million extension.
if you adjust that to inflation, that shit 50 million. That 30, 33 million he got in 97 and 98, that's 50 million in today's money. So he wound up he was getting his ass cheated. He gave that man Jerry Reinsdorf.
Ron store.
He gave him 4 ships for what? For 7-figure numbers.
Yeah, it was 5, 6 mil, something like that, 7 mil.
So he got 4 of them things on that price.
Mm-hmm.
That boy made some money. Reinsdorf.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Reinsdorf comes off, and
Absolutely.
Kraus get all the smoke. Reinsdorf motherfucking ass sitting around somewhere with a bag full of money.
Yeah,
From the
selling out every home game. Every home game sold out.
That boy ain't spent 1997 money yet.
He has not. He has not. He has not.
But that's another. We're gonna have to do I'm gonna have to do a myth buster about who's really to blame about breaking up the Bulls dynasty, America. I'm gonna have to do a deep dive on that one, okay? But I'm gonna leave that aside, okay? But y'all chime in, tell us what y'all think, okay? I hate that I had to bust this myth because I know my young boys like Antoine Dixon gonna use this against me to try to make it seem like somehow I'm trying to side with him. And he swept down LeBron, Raymond James Sr. is the GOAT. Okay. But this still don't change the fact what the fuck I said. Michael Jeffrey Jordan is that. But Mike could go out for a steak with these boys or go out and play golf with these boys and still come on that court and fucking bust their ass.
Right.
2 things can be true.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's all I'm saying, America. All right, but y'all chime in and let us know what y'all think. All right, put it on something.
Thank you so much for watching my daddy's YouTube channel. Make sure you like, share, and turn on your post notifications. Okay, how do I do it?